Alright, we're back with part 2. No intro here for me, because we're lazy and we don't want to do an intro, and we just did an outro.
Yeah.
So, we're starting this off with the good stuff here. This is where things start happening.
This was good.
We have Fantastic Four number 12, titled The Incredible Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk.
First crossover for our intents and purposes.
Yeah.
There were some crossovers in the 40s with like Captain America and Namor crossing over, but we're not counting that because we're not reading any of that. And we're also not counting, say, when the Fantastic Four show up in a Human Torch solo series because they're the same. They're all.
Yeah. It's pretty self-explanatory.
You can't have one without the other, pretty much. So anyway, though, this is the first official crossover here between the Fantastic Four and the Hulk.
And the Incredible Hulk.
We start off with this. Ben is taking Alicia to the symphony. Alicia, for those of you who might have missed it, is his girlfriend, his blind girlfriend. I thought it was Sue at first, because they're drawn, like, identical in this.
Yeah, I thought it was too. I was like, oh, dang, okay.
Yeah.
Thought Sue took him out to, like, a nice place. I was like, dang, there you go.
The love triangle is back!
But no, it was...
I just swear, because Namor's in there.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, they walk out, and Ben is just attacked by the army.
Yeah.
So they fight for a bit, but then they're like, wait.
Who was it that stopped the army exactly? I think it was just like one of the officers.
It was just one of the officers, yeah. We're like, hey, sorry, man. We thought you were the Hulk.
Yeah. Thing does not like that.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
See what I did there? They're like, yeah, we thought you were this guy. They showed a picture of the Hulk. They look nothing alike, man.
They literally said... The only way we can tell people apart from the Hulk is from incredible strength, but then they show a picture clearly showing that it's like, actually, he looks like this.
First of all, he's green.
What?
Ben is orange and made of rocks. How the hell did you confuse the two?
Like, I don't... Oh, man, that was...
So anyway, Ben goes back to the Bachelor building, and General Ross, Thunderbolt Ross, is visiting.
Yeah, to ask them for help defeating the Hulk.
Correct. So, they agree, and... Oh, boy. Here we go. This is what I was talking about with Reed being exceptionally sexist here. They're all saying how they would catch him individually. Yeah. And then Sue is like, well, I guess I can't do anything. I'm kind of useless here.
Yeah, she can't do much.
So, General Ross comes up, and he's like, nonsense! Any woman can help just by keeping the morale of the men up. First of all, that's extremely sexist just in itself. But then Reed goes, yeah, that's exactly how we feel about Sue. Like, no wonder she hates him, and no wonder she wants to go date Namor, because, like, that's just, Also, though, they show the redesigned Fantastic Car.
Yes.
It looks pretty sick now. I like the design on this.
I like the joke they made about it looking like a bathtub.
Yep, they even said, I told you, man. I told you in the first episode, it's a flying bathtub. Reed says we've gotten some fan mail saying that it looks too much like a flying bathtub.
So they redesigned it. And it looks a lot like the one from, if you've seen the original Fantastic Four movies with Chris Evans as the Human Torch. It kind of looks like that one, honestly.
They had a Fantastic Car in those movies?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Damn, I did not remember that.
I think it was mostly in the second movie, Rise of the Silver Surfer.
That movie is way better than the first one. I'm going to say something maybe controversial here. I really don't hate Rise of the Silver Surfer. Like, the Galactus Cloud is dumb, but I think everything else is actually pretty solid.
Yeah, I talked about this with my little brother the other day. The Silver Surfer was filmed beautiful. Like, the Silver Surfer is amazing.
The character is very well done as well, yeah.
Like, he was amazing. It was Galactus that was so stupid. He's a giant cloud.
In fairness, I think that is how the Ultimate version of Galactus is.
Is it?
I think it is the Cloud in the Ultimate comics. But
that's dumb.
I agree. It still should be. But you also have to consider, they're not going to put a 50-foot purple dude in there who eats planets, so...
I mean, I don't know.
I'm hoping, though, because I'm hoping maybe in Marvel Phase 4 we might... I'm hoping Galactus is the next Thanos.
See, I don't want it to be. I think there's another dude. I want Kang the Conqueror.
I was just about to say Kang, yeah.
I want him to do it. Because they have started to mess with time travel, and Kang is all about time travel.
But I think that's exactly why he won't be the villain in Avengers 5.
Okay.
Because we just did time in Avengers 4, so I don't think he's going to jump in right with that. I was thinking maybe... I really want to see House of M. which is where Scarlet Witch goes crazy and just destroys everybody.
Yeah.
But since they're introducing mutants, they might want to wait a little bit for that, because that's a very mutant-heavy one. Anyway, they fly in the Fantastic Four over to an army base, and they have a conference meeting. Reed meets Banner. His hair is now jet black, and it's inconsistent even here, because it's drawn brown in some panels, but it's black in others, which is weird. And it's also weird because Jack Kirby also draws the Hulk comics, so you would think that he would know what he's doing. I guess he probably doesn't color everything though. So Bruce is like, "Yo, I am sure that the Hulk is innocent." Right?
Innocent.
And that someone else is destroying these weapons. He says he's calling them the Wrecker.
The Wrecker.
But it's not the cool Wrecker with the crowbar who gets introduced later.
No.
It's just a communist.
It's it. Always commies.
Yeah. So, while they're in this meeting, the rest of the Fantastic Four are just waiting outside. Mm-hmm. But then they just jump in and they start, destroying... Ben just destroys Ross's collection of phone books.
So, they barge in and they start making a ruckus. Ross is like... Right. Ross stuff. I'm upset at everything.
Right.
And then Thing is like, I'll show you my strength. So he grabs a bunch of phone books and just rips them in half.
And then Ross is like, "No, it's my collection of found phone books."
What do I do? He's like, we'll reimburse you. You're good, dude.
Johnny and Rick have Rick Jones have this weird dick measuring contest where Johnny is like, "Oh, I'm gonna show off my fire," and then Rick is thinking, "Well, he wouldn't be acting so cool if he knew that I was his whole sidekick,
Hulk's assistant."
Right. So some scientist dude drops his wallet.
Yeah.
And Johnny picks it up, I think, and he gives it to Rick.
With a fire lasso.
Just pick the damn thing up on your own, man. So he gives it to Rick. He's like, "Bring this back to the dude." His name is Court or something. So, Bruce kind of gives him more backstory. He's like, the Wrecker's been destroying all of my new military stuff.
Yep.
Although he doesn't tell anybody that. He just tells himself. He thinks it to himself, because...
Nobody believes him. Everybody thinks it's the Hulk.
So Rick, meanwhile, goes to return the wallet to Court.
Yeah.
But Court is actually the Wrecker, who is actually a communist. And it's found out this because...
He has a membership card to Macy's.
Rich sees the card and he's like, "Oh, he's got a membership card to a secret communist organization." What? That does not... they would be the worst communist organization in the country, in the world, if they had membership cards. You don't go around,
Dude, whatever.
Anyway, Court captures Rick.
Holds him hostage.
Right.
And meanwhile, the Fantastic Four are testing a new weapon that the military designed, but said it wasn't working. But Reed, smart, fixes it. Johnny fixes all the rails.
Right.
Thing's gonna test it. It's all good.
However, the Wrecker sabotages it.
Yeah.
But everyone thinks it's the Hulk.
Everybody always thinks it's the Hulk. Because he said, they specifically say nobody can bend metal like this except for the Hulk.
Come on, man. You live in a world of superheroes now. It's not as expansive as it's going to be, but...
Yeah.
Come on. Oh, here's a random thought here, though. All of the Fantastic Four should know that Bruce is the Hulk. And here's why. Remember way back when Johnny was reading a Incredible Hulk comic? Which means that... And it was Incredible Hulk #1. It showed very clearly on the panel that it was Incredible Hulk #1.
Okay, so my theory behind this is... You know how the Fantastic Four themselves have a comic in their world?
Right.
The Incredible Hulk could have one too.
Sure, which means that they should know that it's real.
They know it's real, but they don't... if the comic... They could just make the comic about the Hulk. They have no idea even if he has a secret identity in the first place.
I don't know, man. It's very clearly shown... And I get that things are... I think that was probably before they knew it was going to be a connected universe. Yeah. But still, it was very clearly Hulk #1.
I mean, yes, but...
Anyway, though, Bruce turns into the Hulk, and he kind of follows Rick and the communist dude through some tunnels.
Yeah.
But the Fantastic Four also had the same idea. They're like, we found some tunnels, let's go and see where they go.
Yep.
So they meet, and they get in the fight.
Yeah.
Particularly, Hulk and the Thing have a
matchup.
That's a classic, and it happens a lot. But like this is the first time, and that's always a fun brawl to see.
Yeah.
So
basically, Hulk like punches him in the face, and then he tries to dig his way out. Mr. Fantastic like grabs onto him, and like they have a fight on the surface, and then I think
all of them pretty much get knocked out except for
the Thing, and then they start fighting again until like a ray of some sort hits Hulk in the head,
right,
and knocks him out,
right, and then is like, "Come on, this isn't fair. I wanted to finish him myself."
Yeah.
So he goes to find out what's going on, and it's a giant robot. So he
easily takes it out.
Yeah, and then he goes and confronts the Wrecker.
Yeah.
Sue is also there.
He's invisible.
Right, and the Wrecker is like holding this gun at Ben. Sue just smacks it away. Ben like interrogates him.
Yeah, they save Rick Jones, who was down there the entire time.
I think they should have just left him, but okay. We'll get into the reason why I hate Rich so much in a little bit, because before this, like, he's annoying, but he's not too bad, but it's with the formation of a certain group.
Really?
Yes. They get worse, man, I'm telling you. Yeah.
Okay.
But so we'll get into why I hate Rich in a little bit. But, yeah, anyway, so they capture the Wrecker. Bruce wakes up as the Hulk. He turns back into Bruce.
Yeah.
And the military have this ceremony honoring the Fantastic Four, and they all go home. This is like a very historic thing. It's the first major crossover with these guys. And it's like actually a good issue as well.
I thought it was pretty good. I can see what you gave it. I didn't give it as what you gave it.
Yeah. I was when I was going into this, I was like, ooh boy, this could be fun. Because I know the Fantastic Four and Hulk are like your two least favorites right now, it seems.
Yeah. But this was a good, like, I'll give it to them. This was a really good issue.
Yeah, no, it is really, really good.
It's really good.
I would say I think it'd probably be like a 4-star story on its own, but I think because it's the first crossover, I just have to bump it up to 5.
Yeah, see, I gave it a 4. I would give it do the 5.
Yeah.
For the fact that it is the first crossover, I will give it a 5.
Oh, there you go.
But I will agree, like, it is a 4-star story. Like, if it wasn't, like, let's say this was just Hulk or just, like, Fantastic Four, it would have been still a 4, in my opinion, because it was honestly a really good issue. But because it's the first crossover, I'll bump it up to 5.
Yeah. Crossovers in the beginning, they're kind of few and far between. We do have a couple coming up, but it was really cool to come back and read this, because I forgot, I'm kind of at the point where I'm reading now in my own personal reading, crossovers happen like every 5 issues. So like I'm kind of numb to them at this point, but it's cool to see it for the first time. It was a very big event here. And eventually we'll get to the point where we're having crossovers pretty much every week, possibly some weeks multiple times a week. So 5 stars for me. I really like this one. It's really good. Going from a really good one to a really bad one.
Yeah.
Journey into Mystery 90. It's a Thor one.
Yeah.
It's called Trapped by the Carbon Copy Man.
Meh.
So it starts off aliens.
Woo. Basically, they're like a war race, I guess, and they're basically planning to go to war with Earth.
Right. It doesn't say outright that it's Earth, but like, of course it's Earth. We cut to Dawn, who is like, "Yo, I want to tell Jane everything, that I love her, and that I'm Thor and everything." And then Odin's like, sorry, man, can't do that.
You can't tell anybody you're Thor.
Right.
But I still don't understand why he can't tell her he loves her.
Yeah,
we'll get past that.
Well, okay, I think it's because he thinks that if he told her that he was Thor, she would be able to love him, but because he's Dawn, she'd think he's too weak and wouldn't want to get into that.
Which is very wrong, but you know.
And it's not even accurate.
Very wrong. She loves him even as Dawn.
Kind of. She
now that Thor's there, she idolizes Thor, but
right.
The very first issue, she clearly is like, I wish he would just ask me out.
So anyway, we cut to the city, and there's some weird shit going on. Like, pedestrians are being forced to walk in the gutter while the cars can drive on the sidewalk. They put, like, the billboard messages on, like, the buildings.
On the building themselves, not, like, on, like, where they're supposed to go.
Right. They're painting the bridges with polka dots. They're saying it's National Trust Week, so you have to keep your door unlocked.
Yeah, you can't lock the doors this week. So Dawn is back in the office, and Jane is like, I can't, like, basically goes off on this rant, saying she can't work with him anymore and she quits.
So here's why. It's because Dawn gets a message from the mayor, or from somebody, I don't think it's the mayor, saying that you're not allowed to treat patients for charity.
It was the mayor, I remember now.
Right. He's like, you can only treat patients if they pay you. You can't do it just for charity. And so he's like, what is this? And Jane's like, I agree. Yeah, they're all weak. They need to pay us if they want to do anything. You're weak too, Dawn. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So Dawn goes, he's like, I need to see what's up here. So he turns into Thor and he goes to the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
But the mayor is like, you're a menace!
Spider-Man.
Yep. And he's like, arrest this man.
Yep. So Thor...
Oh, okay. If you want to get into this, feel free, but I've got some things to say once you're done here.
Well, anyway, he flies out the window, and I think he lands somewhere first, thinks to himself, and then he, flies around to figure out what's going on.
So here's the thing. While he's thinking to himself, he flashes back to when he was talking to Odin one time. Yeah, here's what I have to say about this. Yeah.
This part.
He's like, he flashes back to a scene with Odin, and Odin's basically like, it's always the simplest solution, no matter what, no matter how impossible it seems. The simplest solution, first of all, Thor thinks that the simplest solution, he's like, nobody is acting like themselves, which means they're not the same people. They're all imposters. No. When weird shit is going on, it's probably because Loki's involved. That's the simplest solution.
Dealing with Thor, it'd probably be Loki.
Right.
But I figured he's like, I've seen the last of Loki, probably, because he delivered him, hand...
Yeah, he thought that last time, and next week Loki's back again anyway, so, so he goes and he flies into the forest.
Sees some, knocked over trees, then discovers the alien spaceship.
Right. So he tries to get in, but he can't find a place, so he drops his hammer. He's like, let me go see what's going on here.
Yeah.
So he gets magnetically attracted to the ship.
Which turned him back into Don Blake.
Well, because he didn't hold
his
hammer. Yeah,
I thought he explained
because
he
disrupted
it. And I was like, what?
What happened was he had dropped his hammer to go investigate the ship, and then he didn't pick it up and just sent him over.
Yeah, okay.
So then the aliens come out and they take him in.
Yeah.
They're basically orange scrolls as their shapeshifters.
Yeah.
So they explain their plan, which is to take out, to
make, a bunch of stupid rules to get everybody to a panic.
Right.
And then send their armada in to take everybody over, basically.
Yeah, so they want to do this by turning into key people, important people in the government. But here's the thing. Jane is also being impersonated. She's not important in the slightest to the rules of the city.
No.
And also, this implies that all of the leaders of the city just walked into the forest at that exact spot and all got captured.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Which is that's a big, big stretch, and it does not make sense.
It's not like the mayor has overwielding power against the city.
Right.
So it's more like that's how it works.
So Don is like, or I think Jane is like, you'll never beat Thor. Thor's the best.
Yeah.
And Don is like, I know where Thor is. I'll give him up if you let me go. And everyone's like,
wow,
you son of a bitch.
Betraying Thor now, are we?
Right. So anyway, he goes outside. He grabs his hammer. He fights the Warlord's son, who he beats. And then he fights the Invisible Warlord.
The actual Warlord.
Right, who he also beats.
Easily.
And he sends him into space.
And his entire armada chases after him.
Okay, not exactly. He takes the rest of the people as hostages.
Well, no, everybody. The armada was in space.
Okay, okay, that's true. Right. The rest of the people on Earth, he takes as hostages.
Earth, yeah, he takes as hostages.
And he's like, "This is a perfect plan. Turn into trees, everybody." And they're like, "Okay, we'll do it." We'll just turn back to normal people. He can't. There'll be nothing.
As soon as the orange scrolls are basically like, as soon as he leaves, we'll just turn back into people and escape. It's easy.
Right. But then Thor is like trees. They turn into trees, and I think Jane is like, they'll just turn back. And he's like, no.
They can't. Because in order for them to shapeshift, they have to think about their forms, and trees can't think. So they're stuck as trees now.
They're not actually trees, though. They're just aliens that have the form of a tree.
Yeah.
You know what? Okay. I gave this 2 stars.
I gave it 2 stars.
I'm dropping it to 1.
Dropping it.
Here's the reason. I think it's a 2-star story, but it's the exact same as Fantastic Four #2. We've already seen it, and this is a worse version of it.
I was about to mention, like...
Yeah.
Them making the scrolls turn into cows and then hypnotizing them, like...
Yeah.
Sure, that was honestly a better solution than them having to turn into trees.
Yeah. This is Fantastic Four #2, but worse, so I'm dropping it to 1.
Yeah, it's not good.
On to the next one. Hulk #6, the Metal Master.
The Metal Master.
This is the final Hulk issue for a while. Like a long time.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing.
No.
So, we start out and Hulk is going back to his cave.
Yep.
And he turns into... Yeah, he has a conversation with the military, but he makes it out. Because they get an alarm, and so they have to leave.
Yeah.
I think Ross would be like, just keep fighting the Hulk.
Well, no, they were never fighting. Hulk was trying to get back to his, like, secret hideout.
They definitely saw him, though.
Nope. Never saw him.
There's no way they missed him, man. They must be blind then.
Him.
Anyway, he turns into Bruce, and he's briefly like a strong Bruce.
Yeah.
And then he turns weak again.
Yep.
This is... Man, the transformations in this issue are weird as fuck. Like...
Yeah, dude.
So, Bruce sees on the TV that
Yeah.
the military base is being attacked by alien Magneto.
That's a good way to put it.
What I'm going to call him because it is what he is.
That's a good way to put it.
He's Magneto, but he's an alien. His name is the Metal Master.
Master.
Anyway, he melts some projects that Bruce was working on.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I was exiled from my planet because all of us had powers like this, but I was the only one that wanted to rule the world, so they just banished me.
Very simple solution.
Right. So he's basically like, yo, you've got 24 hours to surrender to me, or I'm going to kill everybody.
Yeah.
So he flies off. He escapes this missile launch.
He reverts one of them back at them.
Right. So
shows his power basically. so Banner is like, I had to stop him. So he changes into the Hulk, but not completely.
Yeah, his body is the Hulk, but his head is still Bruce Banner's. Yeah. But his mind is still the Hulk's.
It's still the Hulk's. And so
he just happens to have a Hulk mask lying around.
Hulk mask that he himself made to study. It wasn't just like for fun. No, he made it to study. So he's like, I'll just use this. And so he puts it on, and then he goes out to find the Metal Master.
Right. So they fight for a bit, and then Alien Magneto is like, yo, let's team up! And Hulk is like, you know what? No one's ever done anything for me here. Maybe I should. And then he's like, no, actually, I don't need anybody. I'm just going to kill everybody myself.
Yeah.
And then he gets knocked out.
And then Metal Master flies away.
Yep.
Army arrives. They're like, ooh, the Hulk.
Right. And then they're like, what's up with this? He's got a mask on.
Yeah. So they pull the mask off. But luckily, it was just the Hulk's face underneath.
Right. It seems like Banner doesn't know this, but I feel like you'd probably realize if your face just changed.
Yeah.
Because later he's talking to Rick and he's like, you betrayed me, now they know I'm Bruce. Yeah, so Rick goes to visit Hulk. Yeah. Because they bring him back to their base and put him in a cell.
Yeah.
But Hulk hates Rick now, rightly so.
Yep.
And then Rick tries to join the army.
Yeah, he's like, he asks Ross, how can I join the army? Ross is like, you're too young, you're 16, finish school first.
Right.
And Rick was like, man, I don't wanna, dude. I've been the Hulk's assistant, I can't just go back to normal life. When all of his friends were like, yo, come check this thing out.
Okay. This is possibly the single most annoying group in the history of Marvel Comics.
Yeah, I don't like the relationship this group has with Hulk. It's kind of dumb.
He forms this group called the Teen Brigade.
Stupid name. They were all like, oh, sick, it's a cool name. No, dumb name.
Yeah. So, Hulk escapes from the cell, and he turns into Banner, but he's been using the machine too often, so he's like way too weak.
Yeah.
And so he asked Rick to help him.
Yeah.
And so, the Teen Brigade, their whole deal is basically... They're going to help people. They run like a radio network.
Yeah.
And they're basically just trying to help people.
Yep.
It took me a while to catch this. What happens next? Banner is like, I need like all this, and this to make this gun. Basically, that's not metal.
Yeah.
It's basically like, I need a whole bunch of plastic and cardboard. The Teen Brigade ship it out from, like, Seattle.
Yeah.
There's fucking cardboard wherever they are. I mean, come on.
You can just go to a junkyard, probably. Well,
just go to the store. Like,
go to the store, buy some cardboard. You're easy.
Right. And all the materials get there in, like, the few hours it takes to... Like, nothing ships that fast.
Dude, Teen Brigade, they're on it.
So, yeah. Hulk goes to Washington, D.C., where the Metal Master currently is. And, they have a fight. Everybody else, like, Rick and his group just drive there. But again, they're in, like, the southwestern desert.
Yep.
And they make it there in, like, a few minutes.
What you gonna do, dude? Hulk's got some strong legs.
Hulk does, but the Teen Brigade are just driving in a car. Hulk, fine, that's no problem. I can see him making it to DC that quick. But the Teen Brigade just drive there, and they get there at the same time as the Hulk. And then the army from the same place also gets there at the same time as the Hulk.
So
and they didn't even hear about it until the fight started.
It's so funny.
So... Yeah, Hulk and Metal Master get in the fight.
Yeah.
And Metal Master's like, okay, you're too powerful for me. I'll fix all the metal stuff that I've messed up. And then he flies off into space.
Yep.
So the army arrives. So the Hulk leaves.
Yeah, he's out of there, obviously.
Right.
For obvious reasons.
And so he tries to turn back into Bruce Banner, but he can't do it.
Oh no.
He's staying the Hulk. And then at this point, the government, like, pardons the Hulk for saving the world.
Yeah.
And then the rays do eventually work, having a delayed reaction.
Yeah, and he turns back into Bruce.
Right.
And that's how it ends.
Yeah.
Or no, he meets Betty first.
Yeah,
he's super worried because Bruce has been gone that entire time.
Honestly, I don't hate most of this. I would have given it a 3. But, because of the Teen Brigade... I'm cutting off 2 stars. It's a 1 star, just for that sole purpose. I hate the Teen Brigade. 1 star. I hate them.
Oh my gosh. I give it 2.
Yeah.
I hate Hulk. I hate this comic.
Hey, well, the next time he shows up is in the first Avengers, so it's a little ways off until he's back.
Fine, dude. I don't like his solo comics.
Yeah.
They're bad.
But, next up, we have Tales of Suspense number 39A. Iron Man is born.
Yes, first appearance of Iron Man.
So, this one, I was kind of amazed at how close the movie stuck to the original.
Uh-huh.
I think the only real difference is that they're in Vietnam in the comic instead of, like, the Middle East.
Yeah, and there were a couple things,
The wrestling matches, for one.
Yeah. I think the way he was captured, too.
Yeah, it was pretty similar, because it was still testing weapons, and then he got tripped up by a landmine.
Well, I think it was the weapon that they were testing was the different thing.
Right. Oh, yeah, sure. So anyway, we start, it kind of introduces Tony.
Yeah.
If you are somehow living under a rock and have not seen any Marvel movies, he's basically a super smart guy who's also super popular with the ladies.
Yep.
He's just super all
rich.
over. Yeah. So we cut to a village in Asia, in Vietnam, where this dictator
Wong
named
Chu. Funny.
That's the one complaint I have about this issue, probably, is how, like, the vast amount of stereotypes, Asian stereotypes in this issue. Yeah. And they don't even get them right. Like, it's a Vietnamese guy who's named Wong Chu, which sounds more like a Chinese name.
Yeah.
And then at one point he offers his men 10,000 yen, which is a Japanese currency.
Yep.
Come on.
Basically, he takes over a village, and he's like, if you guys can take out my strongest warrior... You can have your village back. I won't do anything.
It's not even his strongest villager. Isn't it just him?
I thought it was his, like, strongest warrior.
I'm pretty sure it's like, if you beat me in a wrestling match, I'll let you go.
Okay, I thought it was his strongest warrior. Okay.
So, at this point, at the same time, Tony is with the military to test some new weapons. He triggers a landmine, and he gets captured, and he's got the shrapnel in his heart.
Yep.
So, Wan Chu is like, yo, Tony, if you work, I'll save your life.
I'll get the shrapnel out of your heart.
Right.
Which Tony thinks to himself, like, if they could have done this from the beginning, they would have done it because they don't know how long I'm going to live.
Right. They want me to actually do work, so if it was an option, they'd prolong my life.
Yeah.
So Tony, at this point, meets Professor Yinsen.
Yep.
And they build the Iron Man suit, which is basically just to keep the shrapnel from getting Tony's heart.
Yeah.
So, as they're getting ready to operate it, the communists start to come in, and so Yinsen sacrifices himself to buy some more time.
Yeah.
So Tony learns how to operate everything. He flies up into, like, the roof.
Yeah.
So that when the people come in, they don't see him. Yeah. On the roof. So he goes out and he beats Wan Chu in the wrestling match. And then he fights all the other communists who then all desert Wan Chu.
Yep.
And then Iron Man captures him. Basically, by going on a loudspeaker, telling the communists to desert him.
Yeah.
And then...
like, lighting the place on fire.
Yeah, so there's one, I think it's described as he removes the stopper from his lubrication device and squirts out oil onto the ground, and then he lights it on fire and blows everything up.
Alright.
And that's pretty much it. I will say there's some parts here that bother me. The main one being that he has to recharge his armor all the time, otherwise he dies. There are parts where that comes in, that is such, it's kind of like Thor's hammer thing.
Yeah.
Where it's just a way to manufacture false tension. Also, it leads to some weird images where Tony is just sitting in a chair with his chest plate on, plugged into the wall with a socket. And that hasn't happened yet, but it does end up going. But
interesting.
At the same time, I was surprised at how good this was.
Yeah,
actually.
it's a, I gave it 4 because there were a couple things that I didn't agree with. Like, for one, in order to break down a door, instead of just busting it down because he has an iron suit around him, he uses a mechanical buzzsaw in his finger.
Yeah,
and cuts it open.
Yeah, I did think about that as well.
But then he literally, like, immediately after that, Wang Chu, like, throws a cabinet full of rocks, and he literally just lifts it up off of him easily. Like, if he can do that, just break down the door, there's no reason to buzzsaw it down.
Here's the thing.
It was just, yeah.
Iron Man, in my opinion, where I'm at in my own personal reading order, Iron Man is my least favorite thing to read. But I think this is probably, besides Spider-Man, the strongest origin issue.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give it 5.
Alright.
Next up, this is the last one. Honestly, this is a very anticlimactic end to this episode because this is I don't know what this is.
This is kind of like what we did earlier, number 42. Which one was that one called?
The Fantastic Four one.
Yeah, the Fantastic Four one where they read the fan mail.
The only reason this is even in main Marvel continuity, I think, is because there's one panel where Odin appears.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is Tales of Suspense 39. It's the same issue as Iron Man, but it's a D story.
Yeah.
And it's called Gundar. So it starts... Let me see real quick. We're going to blaze through this one.
Yeah. Very short story.
Yeah. We start out, the sailor washes up on an island. Some Vikings help him. And they basically tell him this story about their crazy captain, Gundar.
Yep.
Basically, he went insane and started attacking the crew. While they were on the ocean.
Yeah, and the crew tried to mutiny him, basically.
Well, they didn't. No, they didn't even. They were just defending themselves because I guess somebody messed up something, and the guy started like trying to kill him with the sword or something, and so they just kind of defended themselves.
Yeah.
And Gundar was like, "Okay, that's enough. I'm putting my curse on all of you. You're gonna be stuck on this island forever until I lift the curse."
Yep.
So Odin hears this and is like, I guess I'll just torture these random sailors because this one random captain said to.
So they're trapped on this island forever, and it basically just cuts back to the present where they're all disappearing.
Right. And the sailor is like, I'm actually a descendant of Gundar, so I forgive you for him, and it frees the curse.
Yeah.
And that's it. This is another one. I put it to... I'm gonna drop it to 1.
I gave it a 1 straight up.
Yeah.
Like, the Fantastic Four one, I said 2, maybe 1. No, this one was just the 1.
Yeah, I don't understand what this is. I don't know why this exists.
No, it's, yeah.
But that's the end of this one. Yeah, on the whole, probably the best batch, at least since episode 2, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe the best batch, period?
No,
I can't say that.
No.
There's too much bad stuff in there.
No.
Yeah, so next week is probably going to be better than this week, actually, because we've got the return of Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yep.
We also have the first appearance of the Watcher next week. Yep. In Fantastic Four. So,
okay.
I know you don't love Fantastic Four. That's where everything happens in the 60s, though. Like, it's where Black Panther first gets introduced.
Oh, no, like, some of their comics I don't enjoy.
Yeah.
But it's like, some of them are really good.
Yeah. We get the Watcher from there. We get Black Panther from there. We get the Inhumans from them. Like, we get everything from them.
Yeah.
And I think that's mostly the stuff for next week. If you would like to email in, though, you can do that at earthsmightiestcomicspod@gmail.com. Again, no apostrophe in the word Earths, and it's all one word.
Yep.
We will read that out if we get one. Again, if you want to read along with us, complete my reading order website, cmro.travisstones.com. Great site. We'll be doing 51 through 60 next week. We've already hit 50, man.
I know.
Milestone. Halfway to 100.
Halfway.
Yeah, I think that might be everything.
Uh-huh.
Again, if you enjoy the show, you could always tell some friends or family.
Or some random dude on the street.
Yeah, just like if you happen to be listening to this on the subway, just go up to some person and be like, "Hey, look at this podcast." And then they'll probably be like, "Beat it, asshole, I'm trying to sleep." Yeah, so, I mean, that's probably the best thing you could do for us. Yeah, so that's, I think, everything I've got to say.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to say?
No.
Tune in next week for Spider-Man.
Yes, a lot of Spider-Man comics.
Yeah, anyway, we'll be here next week. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you in the future.
In the next one.
Goodbye!